It's the day after Christmas. And during this time, you always reflect on things that have happened and how you've gotten to this point and the different moments that really have shaped your life. And the reality of it is, all I can think about is that the happily ever after is just the part of the story that nobody can write. And why is that applicable to business? Why is that applicable to life? Why is that applicable to any walk that you're in? And to tell that and to explain that, I got to tell you the romantic part. Also, the tough part. Just now, I messed up cutting a new coffee bag. I pulled out the wrong mason jar to put it in. Didn't fit into the right mason jar, and then I needed to get another smaller mason jar to fit the rest of the coffee in. What does that tell me? What does that tell you? Life isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be a happily ever after. There is no true happily ever after forever and ever. There's the best life that you can live right now. Each moment, each day, and then the little things that make it the best it could possibly be. And the reality is, just like the coffee, we all make little or big or small decisions or small mistakes every day. The question is, how do you land the plane? But do you ever really land the plane? You just keep continuing on your journey. In school, and this was about 15, 20 years ago, doing math quickly in my head, and of course I can't do it, but I go to a bar and a girl walks in front of me at the bar on the dance floor, and I tell a friend that she's going to be my next girlfriend. Weeks later, 4 to 6 weeks, somewhere in there, I meet this girl at a football field with the dog that I was babysitting for the week, and she has this other dog. And that dog just so happened to be my dream dog. And I knew at both occasions that she was special. But I also knew that number one, I wanted her to be my next girlfriend. But number two, I had a feeling that this was going to be the girl I was going to marry. And she was. 2 kids later, a business, actually multiple businesses at this point, different jobs, hard times, good times, great times. That dog ended up teaching me more than anything else I've been through so far. Lessons, chapters, everything in between. How to live well, but also still struggle. The pursuit, and a good pursuit, is the goal. You'll mess up, you'll lie, you'll do something you shouldn't have done, but what do you learn from it? You'll make great decisions. You'll make bad ones. You'll cut the top of the coffee bag and mess up. Or you'll lie to somebody you love for no apparent reason and then have to fix it. Or not fix it. And that relationship ends because maybe it was supposed to. The reality is, you push through and you make the best of every small decision that you make. Certain things are meant to be. Certain things aren't. And I'm as convinced today as I am the day I met her that my wife is the perfect person to spend my life with. And there were signs along the way to tell me that. But does that make it easy? Does that make it perfect at every moment? Will a child cry at 2 a.m. and then maybe 3 a.m. and then the other child wake up at 5? And then he goes back to sleep for 5 to 10 minutes so you can get a little bit of work done and maybe get a podcast in? That's life. How is that applicable to business in this business? Well, what opportunities are in front of you? Are you thinking about closing a business that you shouldn't because you just don't have traffic? Are you in the midst of an opportunity that you aren't sure you should continue moving forward with, or that may be the next road and branch off that makes sense? The reality of the situation is we hold back because we don't want something to fail, or we are afraid of the work that we have to put into it. I'm as convinced as ever that the happily ever after moment is just a moment in time, but it's also the reality of the situation, which is that the writer was only skilled enough to tell the romantic part. They didn't know how to tell the hard part. And Gary Vee couldn't be more right in what he's currently saying based on the 9 p.m. to midnight situation. If you're in a 40-hour week, 9 to 5 regular, and it's starting to eat at you that you need to, there's something else out there, or there's something better, or there's another opportunity that you need to do, or you don't even know what it is yet. I'm convinced that grinding on your own for a few hours a day to find what it is that may or may not fulfill you is the right move. The measure of success doesn't need to just be wealth. And not even just be. You can be extremely successful and make 50, 60 grand a year as long as you're keeping food on the table. Can you do it and stay happy? Can you do it and show your kids a good life? Can you do it and be relatively healthy? Mentally, physically, everything in between. I want to be here for the hard parts, not just the good parts. And that's what the dog taught me. She was steadfast. Push through. Find your strength. Know when the opportunity arises that that's the one. It doesn't matter if it fails. Because the journey is the goal. The ride with a crying baby on the way to church is the goal. And it is hard. Because you don't want him to cry. But there's nothing else you can do but get him home. Make the jump. Find yours. Understand that there's something better for all of us. And sometimes it takes a little bit of risk in understanding what the opportunity is. Make it a great day. Make it a great year.